Hey everybody, it's Maggie. We are behind the scenes at Matrix Destination. I am here with, say it again,
Steve Waldman.
Everybody knows him.
And Philip Sievers.
Philip Sievers, and these guys are going crazy. They have the big show opening tomorrow night. We're in Orlando, and 2,000 hairdressers are coming here, hopefully getting through the snow, and to watch their presentation. And I walked in this room backstage, and they're having a lot of fun here working on these wefts, and I asked them, what are the tips? And instead of just telling me, why don't we tell you? So I'm going to flip. And okay, so go ahead, tell us, first of all, what are you doing here?
What we're doing is we're using some hair pieces and wigs, and to customize them and have enough hair, we're working from the big stage. We want to increase the size and the volume. So we're coloring some weft to add to the wig to build some custom pieces for our models, so they really are the same scale as the huge stage they're going to be walking across.
So what is this you're doing? What are you applying now?
Right now, the first thing when coloring weft, because it doesn't behave like normal hair would in the salon, we did our strand test.
Oh, good. You actually did a strand test. Good for you.
Especially when you talk about the cost investment and the time investment, strand tests always are the way we find out how we're going to make it work. Then once we find some shades that we're happy with, saturation is the key. So you have to keep painting and painting and painting, and you'll really start to see, like this section is starting to be completely saturated. The way the hair looks and the reflection will change. And then when we're finished with those sections, we always want to make sure that we lift it up and twist it, and see that looked like it was saturated and it was not so we're going to twist it and work underneath, and then when we have it saturated on both sides, then we massage the color through with our thumbs and our fingers to make sure we don't have any pockets.
Does it process longer when you're working on wefts?
I think the hair that's been conditioned in wefts that we get in packages has had a lot more done to it, so it can be more tenacious. So I usually allow for more processing time. So if I normally would process these fashion shades for about 25 minutes traditionally, I'll leave them on for about an extra 10.
Okay, and then anything, like, what's your formula right now? What are you using?
We're using Clear from Color Sync and our blue So Boost. But the blue So Boost is so intense, it really gives us a lot of versatility. So we're using 2 ounces of our Color Sync Clear to only 3 ribbon inches of our So Boost blue.
So why wouldn't you just buy these wefts the color that you want? That's not, no. No one else asked that question. That was mine.
No, and I think
I apologize.
No, I think that's a brilliant question.
Then it is mine.
When we use the demi-permanent color, hair, even when it's human hair that we get in packages on weft, what happens is it doesn't still have that natural look, and the conditioning properties of Color Sync and all of our Matrix brands really allow you to create beautiful, shiny, and workable hair when you're styling it for the stage.
All right, great. Okay, so I'm coming over here to you because you're getting all fancy over here. So tell us what you're doing.
So what I'm doing over here, to Steve's point, you want to definitely make sure it's fully saturated first. And a key note too as well, because it's been pre-lightened, the porosity itself is different. So another key reason to saturate it. And here you see I've already applied the ends color to it. And one key note to this as well too is if you're going to be working with 2 different colors, key is to, of course, apply your lighter color first, because if you apply your darker color first, it can muddy up your lighter color. So I applied my lighter color first because this is a deeper color. It's not going to muddy up, of course, my deeper colors. So here I applied my ends first, and then this right here is going to be the base shading. We're going to base shade with our deeper color, and
you can give formulas.
Formula itself. I was thinking about the formula.
Oh.
The formula itself is in our in our color creams. Our color creams. Logic's color creams, it is going to be 2 ounces of 3 violet to 2 ounces of 4B with 10 volume generator.
Okay.
And Philip, that's another great thing when you're using weft and you're using those fashion colors, whether they're pastels or bright primary colors. We like to create an anchor at the foundation that's going to be darker. If it goes light or bright all the way to the scalp, it has a tendency to not look realistic, not look current and fashion forward. So we always anchor it with a deeper shade, a darker shade at the top, so it really goes in and creates that depth and then that energy and explosion towards the ends.
And these are obviously human hair wefts.
Yeah, they need to, obviously they need to be human, and that was a mistake I made when I first started 25 years ago. I would go for the inexpensive hair wefts, and you can't color them and you can't style them. These will take color. You spend a little bit more money in the beginning, but you really get the value out of using human hair.
Okay, and ooh, wait, I wanted to ask you guys, you're doing the base color here. I wanted to get back here for that. I noticed that these are, how are you going to apply these? These are not clip-ins. So
No.
what do you guys, do you put the clips in afterwards or?
No, what we're gonna do is, so the model can walk and do all the things that she needs to do, we're gonna glue these into the foundation of the wig. So we're gonna build it. When it's finished, it'll be a full appliance that moves like one piece. There's nothing worse than having a model really looking great as she's walking across the stage and she's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs as her.
Little Hansel and Gretel.
Little Hansel and Gretel is not the theme of this year's show.
Okay, I know I only told you guys this would be like 3 or 4 minutes. My last question is, how do you rinse these properly? What are the keys to shampooing? Do you rinse them well? Just give us the whole shebang.
To keep them bright, it is a two-person job with long weft. So you'll have one person hold the weft and the other person rinse down the cuticle. And because what you don't want is you don't want this to pool in the rinse water in the basin because it'll make the color muddy and dirty. You want to rinse it, have it up, and then you'll really maintain the clarity of the tone.
All right, very cool. Well, this is for tomorrow night. This is for the opening Saturday night Matrix destination here in Orlando. Somebody's liking your tattoos.
Awesome.
Yeah, look at that. He's a colorful guy. What's up with you? What kind of a hairdresser are you?
That's right, I know.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for this time. This is wonderful. I'm really excited about the opening tomorrow.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right, we'll see you.
Thanks.
Bye.